ooh, I can't wait. We're going to do this awesome, amazing ornament painting with your name signature at the bottom. So let's go ahead and get out all our paints. These are all the paints we're going to do. We're going to do all of these paints. And then we're going to need 3 brushes, a paper towel, a Ziploc bag to put paint on, and water. We're going to go ahead and start pouring out the paint. Please follow along by pouring the amount of paint. The most paint that you're going to use is probably white. I'm going to start off with the medium brush, and we're going to get ready to do some 2 basic moves in our brush strokes. So let's press it first. It could be any colors, I don't care what colors, but we're just going to take some paint and you're going to put a little bit of pressure and then you're going to flick up. So this is the first brush stroke that we're going to be using. It's a lot of pressure and then flicking up. This will be really helpful for getting those leaves in our brush painting. The second one is going to be the long stroke. This is help blending back and forth, usually used more on the background. If you ever run out of paint, just give it a little bit of water, not like a lot, just a little bit, and it can help smooth things out, but kind of going back and forth on bigger brush strokes. So we're going to go ahead and let's just go for the background once you are done with that. We're going to start with white and doing long brush strokes going back and forth. I usually do about 8. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to start adding the brown when you're done with that white. You want to kind of keep brown and then go all the way down to white, blending using those long brush strokes back and forth. Again, using a little bit of brown in the middle. Feel free to pause the video. I'm trying to speed it up a little bit so that way you can see the end result. So go ahead and pause when you need to, but we're just getting that background with long strokes, 3 amounts of brown, and blending from brown to white. In total, about 30 to 40 long brush strokes should help blend everything out. Let's go ahead and clean off this big guy, which this paintbrush, and then we're going to switch over to a medium brush with a nice round point, and we're going to start getting this tree branch. Go ahead and mix a little bit of brown and a little bit of black. We're going to make a big confident line. It's going to start all the way at the corner, and then we're just going to drag the paint all the way, kind of making a little bit of wiggle in there. It's just more about making a line to get that tree branch. And then we're going to make 4 little tree limbs with our short brush strokes of using a lot of pressure and then flicking up or down. Always dip a little bit of black paint just in case. It's just to help really get that glide. Notice I'm not even using water. I'm just dipping it in paint and then kind of drawing a line to get that tree limb. Let's go ahead and get a new brush. I want it to be a new brush because you don't want a mixture of gray, you want pure white. So go ahead and get a new paintbrush so that way we can get these 4 ornaments. Now I want you to start off with white so that way you know where to put these ornaments. And all this technique is kind of dipping your paint in white, putting a dot and then swirling it around. You can make it as big or small as you want for these ornaments, but it's kind of like that, again, that confidence thing of saying, hey, I'm gonna put an ornament here, here, and of course you can always add a little bit more. I just think the basic amount can be 4, or at least that's what I'm using. Let's go ahead and clean this little guy so that way we can get ready for the Christmas tree limb. We're going to use a mixture of yellow and green and start using little short brush strokes so that way we can get these leaves in. But I'm gonna definitely clean this guy. Start mixing a little bit of yellow, and then that's dipping again for green. Doesn't matter if you get a little bit into that, but you're going to use the same brush. And then we're going to use about 4 to 6 strokes on each side of the tree limb. You can do more, you can do less, but a good just start section is definitely just doing 4 or 6. And again, using a lot of that pressure and flicking up. It doesn't have to be exactly to my painting. Please don't make my painting make your painting. And just kind of enjoy doing these little brush strokes because I really love these. We're gonna do the same amount of little brush strokes just in the middle. You can cover over the pre-branch, but I'm using 4 or 6, just kind of in the middle wherever I can. It's okay if you go over some of your other brushes, but that's kind of like getting our first layer into this Christmas tree, and the more layers we put, the better it looks. So let's go ahead and clean up our brush strokes for red. We are going to start painting the ornaments red, like this nice, good, solid color. I'm just doing the same thing, putting a dot, making little swirls. You can go a little bit over those white areas, or you can keep going to making the ornament bigger, but it's just kind of swirling around back and forth. They will turn pink if it is still too wet of a white. And of course, if it's more dry, it will come out more pure red. Either one's okay because you can always go back over it. But like right now, I think some of mine dried a little bit more quickly than others. Again, if I ever move around too much paint, you can always like get it off of your paintbrush. You kind of want to control your paint. You want to just not moving out. So sometimes it's okay to get extra paint off by just getting like a little paper towel and then scooping up the paint. Because that just means you don't want to work with too much paint, but you want to work with a little bit of paint too. You gotta have some paint, you know. I'm gonna finish up with the last one. Again, pause this video if you need it. Oh my gosh, this one turned into an egg, so you can always fix them up a little bit and take your time with this. Okay, we're just gonna get this guy a lot better. See, oh, that stroke made it better. And sometimes that's all it is. It's just on one little line stroke to help make something a little bit better. Okay, we're nearing the first part. We're gonna go ahead and pause this video for 10 minutes. It'll help let everything dry. We'll see you again in just 10 minutes. Well, thank you for stopping and coming back. Let's go ahead. Everything should be kind of dry enough, so that way we just kind of got that first layer with, and we're gonna now restart with red. Like I said, mine kind of started out pink because I didn't let the white dry. If some of your ornaments are already red, you can also go ahead and start with the decorations, whatever you would like with white. But again, I really need to go over it with some more red just to kind of help do that. I love adding highlights, and that's honestly dipping up your paint, doing a nice short brush stroke of pressure, and then kind of curling it around the object, and it's just a really nice, interesting effect towards the ornament. It just really helps. Go ahead and wash it off, and then I'm going to start doing all those little decorations. I'm only doing decorations on 2. I don't want to overwhelm anybody. Doing decorations on whatever you would like. Again, I'm doing zigzags on this one, and then I just need to go over this a little bit more times. I'm going to turn this one and I guess into a Pepsi one, kind of using red at the bottom, and then I'm going to use red at the top, but leaving like a little strike, like a Pepsi. If you're a Coca-Cola fan, that's fine. I'm just doing designs and however you want them. I'm going to paint this last one just fully red. It is definitely okay to go back and repaint or add in anything that you would like. Like this one just needs that more pop of red. Just be careful of not overworking it. It's just kind of like putting paint where you need it. Like I just need to put some more red into this so that way it can all pop out that white, make it look all, you know, ornament-ness of beauty, whatever you want to say or call it. Just be careful adding too much paint, but have fun with this because it's just decorating with lines and however you want your ornaments to look like. This is a little bit of an advanced move. It's just putting a little bit of black and a little bit of brown and then adding a little bit of red into that. And we're gonna get a bottom shade to these ornaments. Again, you do not have to do this. If this does not make sense, please don't do it. But it's just following a line at the bottom, like one little stroke, following the movement of the roundness to it. It's kind of like a curl and then flick up. This one's a little harder to do since I've already put the white decorations on, but it just kind of adds that nice like highlight, mid-tone, and then of course a shadow at the bottom. Our tree maybe won't be as dry, but it is time to go back into it. It will be semi-dry, which is perfect. It's just enough for some of the paint to move, but we're gonna go ahead and add a mixture for dark green, and that's using black, brown, and some yellow. You don't have to use yellow, but you kind of want this disgusting color of green. Trust me, it will look good on the painting. It just doesn't never look good on the Ziploc. The real method is to it. You should want to keep one side of the branch really like a dark green. Think of it like a light side and a dark side for each tree limb. And I like doing it right down the in-between, still keeping to our 6:4 little brushstroke method. Again, always re-dipping back into paint when you're already starting your new branch. But see how one side is darker and one side is lighter, just to kind of doing that. And again, sticking in between them, it's okay if it mixes. I think it just makes it 10 times better. Go ahead and also we're gonna do some in the middle. Notice I even accidentally went over my ornament. That's okay. It's called overlapping. You just made it more interesting if you accidentally go over it. And then we're going to stop there. Now I'm going to clean off our blush. What is a blush? It's our brush, which is going to be white and then a little bit of yellow, just to make that nice bright color. Oh, this is so fun. And then of course that green. This is honestly the fun part because it really brings it out. And what you're gonna do is this same mixture. You're gonna do this on both sides and you're gonna notice this really nice good pop of leaves and also nice highlights in between, over them, overlapping any of these colors. Let's paint and enjoy. I'm now adding the little tops of the ornaments just with nice little blush strokes and also a little tiny highlight. I'm not even blending it, it's just kind of putting paint on paint. I really don't want you to blend it because it might be a little too overwhelming. If you can do it, that's awesome, but just enjoy this. Again, adding the string, I'm just putting little tiny dots instead of lines, feeding back up to that branch. Let's go ahead. I want you to add 12 to 16 more leaves. This is a mixture of white paint and green, and you're just going to place this anywhere you feel like you need it. Again, this is another little magic trick of just like, ooh, I need to put some here. Ooh, I need to put some there. So just enjoy putting paint wherever it needs to. We're gonna now add the family name. If you want the in front of it, I have a cutesy little 4-letter name, but I'm gonna add that the and just kind of follow in with my lines of paint, always dipping back into that black paint just to getting that, and then going down a line. And this is just planning out where you're going to put the before. You can also do it in pencil it first and then go back over it with black, but if you're confident, you can kind of get the and then whatever that last name is going to be. I just want to say thank you so much for following me along into this painting, and just remember, whatever you painted, just remember that you came in here, you tried to paint, you're trying to learn, so don't be too hard on yourself. And I hope that you guys have just thoroughly enjoyed just figuring out how to use the little tiny paint brush strokes. I'm going to add and use any leftover paint, which I have plenty of, and I'm just going to do a mixture and do a little bit. I kind of did them a little too big. You can also make them super small. Just nice, that little holly extra festiveness into this. And again, enjoy your painting, brag it off, post it anywhere you need to. I took this off Pinterest, so of course I just wanted to break it down and help anybody that needed to want to do this. And just have a safe holiday, and thank you so much for painting with me.